Hello guys, Ninjago Studios here, and today is my second edition of the full Ninjago ninja suit collection. There are a few things that I've changed that I want to explain to you now because we have this Moro suit that doesn't fit in, but it technically is a variation of Lloyd's Deepstone suit. I'm putting it in front of the Deepstone line, and because we now have so many forms of Zane, I am putting this in the front because Rebooted was Zane's main line, and we do have one extra Zane figure for the Rebooted line. And same with Cole RX over here in the new Day of the Departed side. For now, I want to tell you guys what's new. So new, we have two figures right here, a figure right there. We have all of these, this, and these two. And that's pretty much it that's new for now, but I'm just not going to go over everything else again because I've already done that and I went very in-depth with those. So I'm going to link the video that has all of those, my previous update or my first update, right here. Click right there. Yeah, you see it. You see it right there? Yep, right there. Click that. And that will take you to the video where I review everything that I didn't point out right now as new. And the first addition we have to one of these lines is to the Samurai X line. Sadly, this is the final addition to the Samurai X line, and it is this new 2016 Samurai X. As you can see, it draws inspiration from almost all of the past ones, I believe, but mostly from this first one, in which you take off the armor, and it is a very, very similar design. Sorry. Very similar design under there. They are pretty much exactly the same, but one is printed on black and is more detailed in our new 2016 printing style. And the face underneath was especially important because we got this face, only seen in the show, but one we've wanted for years now, and a normal Nia face that looks a lot like the one in the show, which is great to have because they've been using some weird, just random city faces for her, which I don't think is right, since she is an original character and deserves an original face. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this figure. She is pretty much the last Samurai X we're going to get, I assume, unless there's some sort of time-traveling thing, but I highly doubt that, and I'm just really happy with this figure right now, but sad the line is done. And this is our second edition. These are two minifigures from the same line that we've been wanting forever, and we finally got. The last one being Cole, and the second to last one being Jay, which actually nicely lined up with the wave that they were centered on. I really, really like their printing. It looks fantastic. That whole corrugated metal thing, I don't know if that's what it's called. That little pattern that's kind of like, makes for like grips on metal walkways and stuff. That pattern is shown all over these figures on Jay and Cole. The printing is just overall very, very nice, and they both have new face prints. I think Jay's was used in a bunch of the second wave of the Skybound sets, but Cole's is a yellow version of his ghost face without the alternate side. So it's just a smiling version of a human face, which I think is pretty fitting anyway. And Jay's face is that, but on the back, it shows this, which is a very sad face, which fits how Skybound pretty much went down. So I really like these figures, and I'm glad we got to add them to our collection, and now the Stone Armor collection is pretty much complete. Actually, it's completely complete, unless we get a Nia figure or a Sensei. Who knows? This is the last edition that is not from one of the new sets, although the set is new. It is from an older wave, 2015 to be specific. This is Tournament Zane. Here we have Tournament Cole to compare the designs, and it basically looks like Zane's is the same, but doesn't have the kanji symbols on the belt across, has his little gold symbol at the corner, but is ripped open and has his technology in there. I like to imagine that this figure is from an alternate universe where Zane survived the conflict with the Overlord. Don't know how that would happen because of how powerful and awesome the Overlord is, but this is an alternate universe where he did. And something very special about this minifigure that nobody expected is that his face is different than ones we've gotten before. Here is what Zane's face from Rebooted looks like, and then here is Zane's new face. It's a very subtle difference, but this one is a lot more clean. And as you can see, when you rotate this one around, it doesn't go all the way around. And this one does, which is awesome. And it looks like it's scratched off on the back, which is just such better detailing and so much higher quality. And I don't know if I've ever even seen face printing on the side of a minifigure head ever before. And here's the main stickler of this figure. It did come with a ninja mask and not a hairpiece like the original Zane with that face did. So here we go. That's my customized hairpiece with the metal coming out of the side. And that is what I think this figure should have looked like, but I'm just glad to get the new face print, and the new prints look overall super awesome. So I'm really glad we got this figure and got a non-canon figure just to complete out the tournament series, which shows that they really care about us completing our collections. So here we have our next two figures. These are the last two figures to the Airjitzu collection, and I happen to like these figures quite a lot. This is Airjitzu Nia and Airjitzu Lloyd. They both look fantastic and fit very well with the previous Airjitzu style. Here's Kai, for example. They fit very well, and I think it's pretty much perfect and completes the collection very well. The most important thing about these figures is to get their faces right, because of how awesome the faces look on the normal Airjitzu ones. Lloyd's face in this, it's the first very angry Lloyd we've gotten in quite some time, or I think probably ever, but it looks a lot like the show, and they did a fantastic job on that. And Nia's face underneath has a blue watery design, which is fantastic, and I love both of these so much. And just a plus, Lego actually does make Lloyd's hairpiece in a green color from one of the Joker minifigures, and I think putting that on Lloyd looks freaking awesome. But sadly, there is no version of Nia's hair in her color, so, or quite frankly, any of the other ninjas' colors. These figures are very reflective, with tons of extra details in them, and I'm glad to see Nia finally has a kanji symbol, and the blue reflectiveness on hers is very, very well done. Here is our first three ninja from the Day of the Departed series. I am splitting these up just so I can get a closer look at all of them together. And I do have to sincerely apologize for this. I lost my J hood for this year, and that's why you haven't seen it recently in my series. I've been using almost completely the mouth bandana, which is kind of sad, but I think it does suit him better as a pirate, which is how I see him in my series. But just for reference, his mask did look like this, but with dark blue instead of black. Again, I'm going to go into full detail with these figures and say everything I like about them and their references. So you can clearly see that these ninja suits are referencing their originals. For Kai and Jay, here we have Jay's original. Same kind of belt across. And here we have Kai's. Same kind of belt across. And next we have their different forms, which were their ZX forms. Their ZX forms are very important to these designs as well. I know this has Zane's face, that's a mistake, but their belts and their torso prints are based on those. And the same goes for Kai. So you can see the belt buckles are the same, and I think Kai's suit has the least inspiration from his ZX outfit, and Nia's is a whole nother case. Nia's suit has something that we've never seen before, and I love it a lot. As I've said before, this is my favorite Ninjago ninja suit ever created, mostly because of my love of the azure color and dark red, and their mixing is just so perfectly done. She does have this brown shoulder pad, which all of them have, except for a special case, which I will show you. She does have, as I said before, just a random woman face from City, which I don't like. I really think she should have an actual Nia printed face. And now onto the next figures. So here we have our next batch of Day of the Departed minifigures, and today we have Lloyd, Sensei, and Zane. Their designs are very awesome, and kind of like Nia, Lloyd's design isn't based on anything. It is very plain because Lloyd never got an original suit like this. He never did. So this is basically making up for that and showing his symbol on the front with some dark green arms and a basic ninja print belt for his legs. He's got this cool hood with the pieces mixed and the same brown shoulder pad as everyone else, except for Zane. Zane has a silver version of that shoulder pad, and as you can see, Zane's torso is inspired by his original and this version. If I hold this right here, look at the belts, and the same belts are apparent on this newer figure. But now he officially is a robot, and the titanium coloring is mixed in well with his normal white suit. He does have the same Zane head we've been getting since 2015, and I like it a lot. It's also got the other side, which I don't like as much because of how it looks without the mask on. I think the mouth looks non-existent without the mask on, but it does look very cool with the mask on. And Sensei looks very similar to the original Sensei Wu, another reference. Here's the original Sensei Wu. And there's the new one. The only difference being the belt is a little bit higher on the old one, and the hat is now golden. And that is pretty much all I have to say about these minifigures. Now onto the final two. And finally we have the two versions of Cole from Day of the Departed, Cole RX and Cole's Day of the Departed suit. They are very, very cool, and I like the RX version a lot. The orange detailing really suits his Earth-like magma powers that he seems to be having this season. And you can tell that much like Possessed Lloyd and normal Lloyd Deepstone, this appears to be burning through his normal outfit. The legs are the same, and the torso is very similar except for some magma burning under his golden symbol. What I must talk about is the arms. The arms for this figure is fantastic. They are the same design reflected, and they are translucent black with some translucent clear on the bottom. So they are dual molded arms with orange hands that definitely show through well, and they do look like they're streaming off of that large magma line ripping up his arm. I think that is very, very cool and definitely gives Cole some more personality to his powers. And the new Cole face for this year is apparent here. Here's Cole's face when he's angry with the mysterious green scar on his head. And here's Cole's face when he is creepily happy. I'm not a big fan of that face. But anyway, this is one of my favorite Ninjago suits to date, the RX one is. And this one is a close second because they're basically the same suit, and Cole is my favorite ninja. Alright, so that is it for this year, or this half year, because I will be doing Ninjago updates on this figure collection every half year. Not exactly, but just around when I get to it, in the middle of that wave of sets. This is all the figures for this year. I'm sorry, there's some pen on my hand. This is all the figures from this year. And a lot of Day of the Departed stuff with a few add-ons from Rebooted and Possession, and some that don't even fit in anywhere, like the Samurai X suit, and Zane's outfit. But anyway, I really like these figures this year, and I think they're awesome additions to my collection, and they'll look really cool in my stop motions too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around.